The movie begins with a commercial towing spacecraft called Nostromo returning to Earth from Thetis, hauling along a refinery and 20 million tons of mineral ore along with its 7-member crew in stasis. When the ship's computer, Mother, receives a transmission from a nearby planetoid, it awakens the crew members from their hypersleep by opening their canopies. While they are enjoying breakfast in the mess hall, Mother summons Captain Dallas to the console room, while the rest of the crew heads to the cockpit to determine their location. When they realize they are not even halfway home, they are all perplexed, so Dallas explains that the ship changed paths when it received an unknown transmission, a signal that repeats itself every 12 seconds. While Chief Engineer Parker protests that they are not a rescue team, Science Officer Ash reminds him that as per company protocol, they are supposed to investigate any systematic transmission suggesting a life form. So, after hearing the signal themselves, the crew detaches Nostromo from the refinery and lands on the tiny planet instead. The descent, however, damages parts of the ship, so Parker, along with engineering technician Brett, heads to repair the ship, while Captain Dallas, Navigator Lambert, and Executive Officer Kane venture out of the ship to figure out the signal's source. As they walk through the rocky, uninhabitable atmosphere of the planetoid, they come across a rundown alien spacecraft. Once inside, they see hallways with bone-like textures and an elevated platform where they find the fossilized remains of a giant alien creature in a huge seat. The alien's torso has a hole in it with ribs bent outward as if it exploded to its death. Meanwhile, Ash points out that Mother has not decoded the transmission completely, so Warrant Officer Ripley starts working on it only to realize that it is a warning message. She decides to go after the search party, but Ash talks her out of it. On the alien ship, Kane finds a large hole in the ship's floor and volunteers to explore it. When he is lowered using a winch, he discovers a chamber down below, which is teeming with millions of giant eggs. He illuminates one of the eggs with his flashlight and notices movement inside. When he touches the egg, it opens from the top, so Kane moves closer for a better view. Just then, the egg releases a strange spider-like creature that breaks through Kane's helmet and latches onto his face. Dallas and Lambert quickly bring the unconscious Kane back to Nostromo and enter the airlock. Since Ripley is the senior acting officer, she is skeptical about letting them inside in case Kane is infected and reminds them of the quarantine protocol. However, Ash ignores her decision and allows the team in. In the infirmary, they cut open Kane's helmet and try to remove the creature from his face. Despite having his mouth blocked, Kane is still able to breathe. When Ash discovers that the alien has highly corrosive acidic blood, he stops since this could harm Kane as well as damage the ship's hull. As time goes by, one day the creature detaches itself on its own and dies shortly after. While Ripley wants to get rid of it, Ash asserts to keep the body for more study. Since Brett and Parker are successful in fixing the ship, Nostromo resumes its original journey, with Dallas suggesting they all go into stasis since they are 10 months away from reaching Earth. In the next scene, Ash calls them to the infirmary since Kane has awoken. He seemingly appears fine except for some memory loss. The crew decides to have their final meal before going to stasis, but suddenly Kane starts choking and convulsing. Next, a hybrid xenomorph bursts from his chest and escapes into the ship while Kane dies. The crew arranges a funeral for Kane, after which his body is expelled into space through an airlock. Afterward, they start bickering about how to capture the little creature, as they cannot take it back to Earth. Since they lack conventional weapons, Brett puts together an electrical cattle prod, while Ash utilizes a tracking device to track any movement across the ship. Brett follows Jones, the crew's pet cat, into a huge room where he finds the alien's shed skin. Suddenly, the alien, who has grown to full size, attacks Brett and escapes with his body into the ship's air shafts. Parker and Ripley try to look for him, but when blood drips down on them, they return to the remaining crew, informing them of Brett's death. In the next scene, the crew deduces that the alien must be hiding in the air ducts, so Dallas volunteers to go after it. Grabbing a flamethrower, he enters the air ducts to force the alien into an airlock, from where it can be expelled into space. The crew realizes something is approaching Dallas at a steady pace, but Dallas is unable to see anything in the darkness. Suddenly, the creature attacks him, and sometime later, Parker finds only the flamethrower, with Dallas's body gone. The crew's morale dwindles, and Lambert suggests that they abandon the ship and leave for Earth in the escape shuttle. However, Ripley, now in command, insists that they follow Dallas's plan since the escape shuttle won't be able to support 4 people. As the movie goes on, Ripley remembers that since she is in command, she can access the mother computer in the console room, which keeps track of everything happening on the ship. Once she heads there, she tries to ask Mother about ways to neutralize the alien, but to no avail. Ripley notices a confidential message intended for the science officer, Ash. She is left shocked when she uses an emergency override command to force Mother to reveal the Special Order 937. The ship was rerouted deliberately to land on the planetoid, since the Nostromo corporate employers secretly commissioned Ash to return to Earth with the alien for research while considering the crew dispensable. Appalled by this revelation, Ripley confronts Ash and tries to call Lambert and Parker, but Ash closes the doors, cutting her off from the rest of the remaining crew. Then he attacks her and almost suffocates her to death, but Parker intervenes and decapitates Ash with a blow from the fire extinguisher. White fluids start flowing from Ash's body, and we learn that all along, Ash was an android. When the crew reactivates Ash's head, he corroborates the company's orders to bring the alien to Earth, since they want to explore more life forms in space. When Ripley asks him how to kill the alien, Ash mocks them since the alien is unkillable, and they are unlikely to survive. Hearing his admiration for the alien, Ripley shuts Ash down, after which Parker incinerates him with the flamethrower. In the next scene, the remaining crew plans to activate Nostromo's self-destruct mechanism and escape in the shuttle. While Parker and Lambert head to gather essential equipment, the alien creeps up on them in the storage room and corners Lambert. Parker tries to fight back, but the alien kills him. Hearing the commotion, Ripley heads toward the storage room but stops dead in her tracks when she notices the lifeless bodies of Lambert and Parker. In shock, she runs to the emergency room and initiates the self-destruct sequence. With 10 minutes to go, she descends to the lower deck through a ladder. However, when she sees the alien blocking her way into the shuttle, she races back and tries to abort the self-destruct, but it does not work. She returns to find the alien gone, so she manages to enter the shuttle and escape narrowly as Nostromo explodes with 3 blasts. As Ripley prepares for hypersleep, she learns that the alien is aboard the shuttle, so she hides in a locker with spacesuits inside. After wearing one, she exits the locker, grabs a weapon, and straps herself into a chair, after which she opens the airlock door. The sudden decompression forces the creature out into the open, but it holds on to the doorframe. Ripley then shoots it with her grappling gun, which propels the creature out. However, the gun is yanked from her hands and gets stuck in the closing door, with the harpoon wire under it. Ripley quickly activates her engines, blasting the alien into space. In the end, before Ripley and Jones go into stasis, Ripley records her final log entry as the last survivor of Nostromo and hopes to reach Earth within 6 weeks. With that, the movie ends. Thanks for watching Alien. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Welcome, sci-fi fans. Futurist Flicks is thrilled to launch our exclusive membership program designed for loyal fans like you. By joining, you'll unlock early access to recap videos, unseen recap videos, raffle prizes, free merch giveaways, exclusive content and behind-the-scenes insights, access to community events, live streams, and Q&A sessions. Join the Cosmic Crew today and get instant access to exclusive perks. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more intergalactic adventures.